In the sun-baked lands of Senegal's Kédougou region, a dangerous allure persists. It is the promise of gold, a metal that draws thousands into a life of hard labor. Here, artisanal and small-scale gold mining, often called ASGM, is a major activity. This sector is largely informal. It operates outside many government regulations. The miners seek their fortunes in the earth, often using simple tools. They dig, crush, and pan, hoping for a fleck of yellow. This quest for gold, however, comes with a hidden, toxic partner: mercury. Mercury, a silvery liquid metal, is the dominant tool for gold extraction here. It is cheap. It is readily available. It is incredibly effective at binding with small gold particles. Miners mix mercury with crushed ore. The mercury forms an amalgam, a mixture with the gold. Then, this amalgam is heated. The mercury vaporizes, leaving behind the precious gold. This process seems simple, but the convenience of mercury masks its profound dangers, casting a long dark shadow over the gold fields. The use of mercury is pervasive. It is deeply embedded in the mining culture of Kédougou. Many miners, especially women, handle it daily. Often, they work without any protective equipment, no gloves, no masks. They are unaware or perhaps forced to ignore the significant risks. The cost-effectiveness of mercury makes it the go-to method. For many, there seems to be no viable alternative. This reliance on a known toxin underscores the desperate economic realities faced by these communities. This widespread practice sets the stage for a looming crisis. The very substance that helps extract wealth also brings contamination and disease. The gleam of gold is undeniably attractive, yet the methods used to obtain it are poisoning both people and the environment. Understanding this paradox is key. It helps grasp the complexity of Senegal's gold mining dilemma. The story of gold in Kédougou is one of opportunity, but it is also a story of insidious, creeping danger. Mercury is not just a tool, it is a potent neurotoxin. Its effects on human health are severe and often irreversible. Exposure can lead to devastating brain damage. Miners may experience tremors, a common sign of mercury poisoning. They might suffer from loss of vision, hearing, or coordination. These symptoms can develop slowly. They often go unnoticed until serious damage is done. The silent nature of this poison makes it particularly treacherous for those who handle it regularly in the gold fields of Senegal. Women and children bear a disproportionate burden of these health risks. Pregnant women exposed to mercury face heartbreaking consequences. The toxin can cross the placenta. This directly affects the developing fetus. It can lead to developmental delays and severe birth defects. Infants are also vulnerable. They can absorb mercury through contaminated breast milk. This early exposure can impair a child's growth and learning abilities for their entire life. The cycle of poisoning continues from one generation to the next in these vulnerable communities. Consider Sadio Kamara, a gold processor in the region. She, like many women, works with mercury using her bare hands. Her children often play nearby as she toils. One of her children frequently suffers from stomach aches, a possible symptom of mercury exposure. The daily routines of life and work become pathways for the toxin. Women are often more exposed than men. Their roles in gold processing involve direct, prolonged contact with contaminated water and sediment, further compounding their risk. The health crisis extends beyond those directly handling mercury. The vapor released when amalgam is burned travels through the air. It settles on surfaces, in homes, and in food. Entire communities can be exposed, even those not directly involved in mining. The long-term impact on public health is immense, yet awareness of these specific dangers often remains low. The immediate need to earn a living frequently overshadows concerns about future health problems, creating a tragic dilemma for many families. The statistics on mercury poisoning are stark, but the human stories behind them paint an even more vivid picture. Sadio Kamara's situation is a common one. She works tirelessly, often with mercury in her bare hands, to provide for her family. Her children are often close by, playing in the same areas where the toxic metal is used. She has spoken of the stomach aches her child endures. This is a daily worry for mothers in these mining areas. They live with the constant, tangible risks. Miners understand that gold offers a way out of poverty. For many, it is the only viable livelihood. One miner might say, "We know it can make us sick, but our children need to eat. What else can we do?" This sentiment echoes across the gold fields. The choice is often between immediate survival and potential long-term illness. The resilience of these individuals is remarkable. They face incredible hardships daily. Yet, they continue to work, driven by hope and necessity. The exposure is relentless. Women, who often specialize in the amalgamation process, spend hours sifting through mercury-laden mud. They wash clothes and bathe children in local waterways which are frequently contaminated. The water here, we use it for everything, a local woman might explain. We cook with it, we drink it, we wash, we worry, but there is no other water. This highlights the pervasive nature of the contamination. It seeps into every aspect of daily life in these communities. These personal accounts underscore the urgent need for change. They reveal a population caught between economic desperation and severe health threats. The miners are not merely statistics, they are individuals with families, hopes and fears. Their voices speak of a desire for safer working conditions. They dream of a future where they can earn a living without sacrificing their health or the health of their children. Their stories are a powerful call for action and support. The human cost of mercury is devastating. The environmental damage is equally alarming. Mercury released from artisanal gold mining does not simply disappear. It contaminates the air when it is burned off from the gold-mercury amalgam. It seeps into the soil. It washes into rivers and streams. This widespread contamination poisons entire ecosystems. The effects are long-lasting. They create scars on the land that may take generations to heal, if they heal at all. A 2018 study led by Duke University revealed frightening truths. Researchers tested soils, sediments and water near artisanal gold mining villages in southeastern Senegal. They found mercury levels that were 10 to 100 times above safety thresholds. These thresholds are set by respected bodies like the World Health Organization, WHO, and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. Such high concentrations pose a severe threat to all living organisms in the affected areas, fundamentally altering the natural balance. This contamination has a ripple effect through the food chain. Mercury in water bodies is absorbed by small aquatic organisms. Fish then eat these organisms. Larger fish, birds, and eventually humans consume these contaminated fish. With each step, the mercury concentration can increase, a process known as biomagnification. Local populations relying on fish for protein are unknowingly ingesting this toxin. Reports from the region also indicate that once fertile land has become barren, unable to support crops due to the pervasive pollution. The scale of this environmental problem is immense. Artisanal and small-scale gold mining is recognized as the largest global source of mercury emissions. It surpasses even industrial sources like coal burning, according to the UN Environment Program. In Senegal alone, artisanal mines are estimated to release between 12 and 16 metric tons of mercury into the environment annually. This continuous poisoning of the earth demands urgent attention and effective solutions to prevent further irreversible damage. Section 5, the economic tightrope balancing livelihoods and lives. The allure of gold in Senegal's Kédougou region is powerfully economic. For many, gold mining represents a vital, if hazardous, pathway out of poverty. In an area with limited employment opportunities, the chance to earn from gold is a strong magnet. Processors like Sadio Camara can earn between $370 and $745 per month. This income is derived from processing just 5 to 10 grams of gold. Such earnings are significant in this context. This income is particularly attractive when compared to the national average. Senegal's average national salary hovers around approximately $200 per month. The potential to earn more than double or even triple this amount provides a compelling incentive. It keeps the artisanal mines bustling with activity. Men, women, and sometimes even older children participate. They are all hoping to secure a share of the wealth hidden in the earth. This economic drive is a primary reason why mercury use persists despite its well-documented dangers. The financial benefits create a difficult trade-off. Miners and their families are acutely aware of the immediate needs. They need food, shelter, clothing, and education for their children. The promise of gold offers a tangible way to meet these basic necessities. The long-term health risks associated with mercury exposure can seem distant or abstract. This is especially true when faced with the daily struggle for survival. The quick returns from mercury-based gold processing often outweigh the perceived future costs. This economic desperation fuels the cycle of mercury use. Even if miners are aware of safer mercury-free methods, these alternatives often require investment. They might involve new equipment or training. These are resources that impoverished communities typically lack. The immediate profitability of using mercury, combined with its easy accessibility, makes it the default choice. Breaking this cycle requires not only raising awareness but also providing economically viable and accessible alternatives that miners can readily adopt. Section 6. Global Pledges, Local Struggles, the Minamata Convention's Test. The problem of mercury pollution from artisanal and small-scale gold mining is not unique to Senegal. It is a global issue with severe consequences worldwide. The United Nations Environment Programme identifies artisanal and small-scale gold mining as the single largest source of anthropogenic mercury emissions. It releases more mercury into the atmosphere than coal burning. This highlights the enormous scale of the challenge. Senegal's contribution, estimated at 12 to 16 metric tons of mercury released annually, is a significant part of this global problem. In response to this worldwide crisis, the international community came together. The Minamata Convention on Mercury was adopted in 2013 and entered into force in 2017. This global treaty aims to protect human health and the environment from the adverse effects of mercury. It includes specific provisions to reduce and, where feasible, eliminate mercury use in artisanal and small-scale gold mining. Senegal took a positive step by ratifying the Minamata Convention in 2016. This signaled a commitment to address its mercury pollution. By ratifying the convention, Senegal pledged to take concrete actions. These include developing a national action plan to reduce mercury use. It also involves promoting mercury-free mining techniques. The country committed to protecting vulnerable populations, particularly miners and their families. The convention provides a framework and potential support for countries like Senegal. It helps them transition towards safer and more sustainable mining practices. However, the journey from international commitment to effective local implementation is often fraught with challenges. Despite these international pledges, the reality on the ground in Kédougou remains grim. The flow of mercury continues. Its devastating impacts on health and the environment persist. The Minamata Convention provides a crucial roadmap. But its success in Senegal, as elsewhere, depends on sustained political will. It requires adequate resources, strong enforcement, and the active participation of mining communities. The test for Senegal is to turn these global commitments into tangible improvements for its people and its land. Section 7. Broken Promises. Government Responses to the Mercury Menace. Senegal's government has acknowledged the mercury problem. It has made promises to address it. In 2020, for instance, there was a significant announcement. The government pledged to build 400 mercury-free gold processing units across the mining regions. This initiative was intended to provide miners with safer alternatives. It was a hopeful sign for communities desperate for change. The idea was to make cleaner technology accessible. This would reduce reliance on toxic mercury. However, the follow-through on these promises has been deeply disappointing. Of the 400 units promised, only one has reportedly been constructed, located in a village called Bantako. This single unit is a far cry from the widespread change that was envisioned. Furthermore, this lone mercury-free unit is largely unused by the mining community. Miners report several reasons for this. It is too far for many to access. Some perceive its gold recovery efficiency as lower than traditional mercury methods. Its capacity is also insufficient for the community's needs. The situation has not seen significant improvement with political changes. A new president was sworn into office in Senegal in early 2024. Yet, residents in the Kédougou region report that promises regarding the mercury issue remain largely unfulfilled. Limited funding is often cited as a potential reason for the inaction. Compounding these issues, the Senegalese department responsible for artisanal and small-scale mining was reportedly suspended. The director did not provide a public reason for this suspension, adding to the uncertainty and frustration. This gap between promises and action is a major hurdle. It undermines trust between the government and mining communities. It also allows the dangerous practice of mercury use to continue unabated. Effective governance, robust regulatory oversight, and genuine investment in alternatives are crucial. Without these, the cycle of poisoning and environmental degradation will persist. The health of thousands of Senegalese citizens and the future of their environment hang in the balance, awaiting decisive and meaningful government intervention. Section 8. The Challenge of Change. Obstacles to safer mining practices. One of the most significant challenges in tackling mercury use is its sheer accessibility. Mercury remains widely available in Senegal, A 2022 report by the Institute for Security Studies shed light on its sources. Most of the country's supply is smuggled across porous borders. It comes from neighboring Guinea, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Ghana. Smaller quantities are also reportedly diverted from dental clinics located in Dakar, the capital city. This constant, illicit flow makes it difficult to control its availability in the mining areas. Authorities have made some attempts to regulate mining activities. For example, mining within 500 meters of the Falema River was temporarily suspended. The Falem is a key waterway in Senegal's gold belt. It is heavily impacted by mercury pollution. However, enforcement of such bans is notoriously weak. The vastness of the mining areas and the continuous influx of informal miners make effective policing nearly impossible. Miners, driven by economic need, often find ways to circumvent these restrictions. Introducing mercury-free technologies faces its own set of formidable obstacles. The cost of these alternative machines can be prohibitive for small-scale miners. Even if acquired, maintenance can be a major issue. Replacement parts are often not locally available. This requires specialized knowledge that may be lacking in remote communities. Furthermore, there is resistance from some miners. They find mercury to be more efficient, familiar, and ultimately more profitable in the short term, despite the known health and environmental risks. Overcoming these challenges requires a multifaceted approach. It is not enough to simply ban mercury or introduce new technologies. There needs to be comprehensive support for miners. This includes training, financial assistance, and access to markets for responsibly mined gold. It also involves strengthening governance and law enforcement to curb smuggling. Addressing the deep-rooted socioeconomic factors that drive mercury use is essential for any sustainable solution to take hold in Senegal's gold fields. Section 9. Forging a Cleaner Future. Hope amidst the contamination. Despite the daunting challenges, efforts are underway to forge a cleaner future for Senegal's gold mining communities. Non-governmental organizations are playing a crucial role. Groups like La Lumière and the Observatoire Territorial du Secteur Extractif are active on the ground. They advocate for safer mining conditions. They work to raise awareness about mercury's dangers. A key part of their advocacy is the call for the installation of accessible, mercury-free processing units in every mining village. The stories from Kédougou, like that of Sadio Kamara and her children, are a stark reminder of what is at stake. The health of an entire generation and the ecological integrity of a vast region are threatened by mercury's silent creep. The economic benefits of gold cannot be ignored, but they must not come at the cost of irreversible human and environmental damage. The pursuit of gold must be decoupled from the use of this devastating toxin for a truly prosperous future. The path forward requires a concerted effort from all stakeholders. The Senegalese government must move beyond promises. It needs to implement its national action plan under the Minamata Convention robustly. This means investing in viable alternatives. It requires strengthening regulatory frameworks and ensuring their enforcement. International partners can provide technical and financial support. But lasting change must be driven from within Senegal, empowering local communities to adopt safer practices. The situation in Senegal's gold mines is a critical test of our collective will. Can we prioritize long-term health and environmental sustainability over short-term economic gains? Can we provide miners with the tools and knowledge to earn a living without poisoning themselves and their land? The answers to these questions will determine the future for thousands in Kédougou. It is a future that can and must be forged without the devastating influence of mercury. The gleam of gold should signify prosperity, not poison.